Okay, so we've played around with some 306, 308 and some 375 cases to see what it looks like when you start annealing it. You can go bigger. I like this specific flame on this unit here quite a lot because of the size and the shape of the flame, and it gives a very nice annealing process. So there you can see it. So it's a very pinpoint, very sharp, and it's hot up to about here. I can feel it. This is going to burn my finger even there. Yeah, it's hot. So it doesn't look like it, but as we've seen with the measurements, it's really very hot here. I can put my hand here and I can feel the heat. It's extremely hot, that flame there. So that is a nice annealing temperature. The shape is nice, and you will get I think good results with it. Now if you want to anneal something really big, now I'm talking really big, this is going to be too small. You need a big flame for a big case. So if you've got a very big case that you need to anneal, this one is not going to do the job. The heat will just be absorbed by the copper, and it will, or by the brass, and it will just disappear. So if you want to go big, this is a nozzle that can make a big flame. So we're going to show you what sort of cartridges or cases that you can anneal with this, still in 1900 degrees. So there you've got your annealing nozzle there, and we can get it going. So that's a nice flame. Okay, so what do you anneal with something like that? One would think, oh well, 50 BMG, that's big. It'll do the job. The BMG is too small for that, so it'll just stuff it up anyway. If you want to go even bigger, at 20 mil, it's still a little bit big for that. And if you want to go for something that suits the flame size, then you go for this 40 millimeter. I don't think there's one person in South Africa that's got a 40 millimeter cannon in his selection, and or in his collection of firearms. I know in America the guys have this sort of thing, so you need a big flame. You can see there the case itself, it's big. So yes, case flame to size, it's critical that you have the right flame there to do the job properly. Now I like the nozzle, this specific nozzle for my annealing, and I've made the adapters to make the whole reloading experience where I have shortcomings. I tried to make them a little bit better for me. I've got some tooling so I can play around. In this case, what I'm going to show you, this is the original nozzle that and with a canister that comes on it, it's butane. The bottles in cases, you know, it just hasn't got enough gas. If you want to anneal a couple of hundred of them, then the flame itself dies down a bit, and then you need a bigger bottle, and in that case then you need something like this that's well, maybe not double the bottle size. But just want to show you that I'm making an adapter between this nozzle and that nozzle where this one fits in. And there's another one that I'm also going to make an adapter for. It's this one over here. It's slightly bigger than this one over here, you know, so maybe I can make a plan, you know, to fit it in one adapter. But this is the reason why I'm going to show you just these small snippets in between, that you can make a plan sometimes. If you haven't got a milling machine or a drill or a lathe or so on, go find a friend who's got one and ask him to make you a couple of adapters and things and so on. This machine here, it's 1982, so it's close by, you know, the time that I'm reloading. And I've made many adapters and many things, you know, during its life, just to help me load a little bit better, or do something here that helps me a little bit, or whatever, parts for my rifles and so on. But I'll give you, as far as I go, I'll give you some in between series. So this won't be one long video. It will just, you know, a couple of snippets, and you can see that you can do your own thing if you've got the tooling there. For them, so here's the adapter for the LPG gas, so that one fits over there fairly nice, and I can move it around a little bit, so bring it forward or a little bit backward. I can bring this whole contraption here a little bit forward inside there, so I can play around until I get a good flame there. This one here I've made for the propane, and this is for this bottle over here. So the same there, it goes in and you clamp it so it can rest on the table, and you can insert it and you can clamp it. Propane will work in the very, very cold weathers better. At the moment it is 11 degrees Celsius, so we're getting to a point where the temperature for the butane gas is running a little bit on the low side, so I hope the flame and everything will do the job properly. So I'm going to set up this nozzle on here, and then I'm going to use the big cat bottle, you know, so that's you can do a couple of thousandths of brass with something like that. So, and it gives me a very good flame, and so I like it. I'm going to put it in here. It's just a short process, and then we're ready there, and then we can start on with the machine. So let's just the nozzle back on there. And when you use something like this, it's advisable that you screw it down quite tight. If you have gas coming out this side and that takes flame, it can burn you, and you can burn, and you can let it drop. So tighten it, just give it a tight squeeze, and there you go. So I'm going to use the that's for the propane, and this is here for the LP gas. So the LP gas, it's just the top and bottom, and it's going in there. It's a nice tight fit there. There go. I think that's more or less what I need, and just tighten the Allen key here so it doesn't move around. Okay, so there you've got a fairly stiff adapter. Now these are the adapters that I made in a short